I need density. Not an elite. I need density. Alright. So, the math is... The math is 4447 minus 3984. Let me go ahead and grab that. Give me 1 second. From 27. Okay. 463. Okay. So, okay. So basically, 460 paragons. Guess I can just drop it somewhere here. Okay. Well, it's gonna be in the way, huh? Alright. This spot might be better. Okay. There we go. Alright. So let's go ahead and get rid of something. Alright. And then we're back into the game. Alright, let's go. This is gonna be pretty tough for me, personally speaking, because I have a lot of stuff from a long time ago. The only thing I don't have is, very unfortunately, a 2-socket Medicore and maybe one other thing. But I generally have a lot of stuff, and so I have to get rid of them. And also here, I was, making sure to take out all the seasonal themed items and make sure they're gone, and they are. So the empty space that you see right here were the 5. I salvaged most of the other seasonal theme anyway to get materials and stuff. So I have the materials. I'm not like as crazy as other people having like 999 all over the place, but I do know that I have a lot of keys though, because I don't play on season, but every time they add up, like I just don't. I end up not using them, because I get so many. Like for example, I think season 26, I still had like what 300 of them. So every other full season that I play, I end up having an excess of keys. So I have a lot of keys, um, you know, that I never reach in seasonal. Anyway, so now I have to clean up the gems though, because if you look, I know, yeah, see, it's so messy, right? But in any case, it's not as messy as you think it is. I actually have them like somewhat sorted accordingly. For a very long time, they have been pretty much sorted. Uh, it's just not sorted in color code, okay? Or anything like that. So I do have the tabs, um, going through Witch Doctor, uh, going through Necromancer, going through Demon Hunter. I mean, I have like stuff that are like sorted. It's just the overwhelming number of seasons and vanilla stuff, especially the vanilla stuff, because over here, like the earlier tabs that are less sorted, have a lot of yellow items, and some of the yellow items are like, legacy stuff, like level 60 stuff. They every one box starts to get in the way. And I know, like, why don't you delete those? Well, it just looks different, right? Back in the day, you versus now, when you see rare items, you just don't see that kind of stats anymore. Um, of course, there are definitely less stats than now, but what I'm getting at is that you don't see them on one amulet like a lot. For example, like in this case, this moused over level 60 item, that's a lot of stats. Uh, Especially at the time when you wear it at level 60, that's a lot of stats. In fact, the funny fact about this yellow amulet is that imagine if, we're leveling up your alt, right? In season 28, and you use this amulet, at level 60, right? You have a lot of main stat and a lot of vitality. And I mean, the method to do what is to get jewelry at level 61, right? Following the guide, you're supposed to get jewelry at level 61 for vitality. Well, this has reasonable vitality. It's pretty close. I mean, obviously, nowadays, after ROS, the level 61 items double this amount. So instead of 284, it's going to be like 444 or something, some number like that, right? So that's the kind of numbers that you're looking at, but in terms of by comparison, one level difference, and because it's vanilla uh, amulet versus not, it's really a lot of stats just from this random moused over amulet. And so I have a lot of legacy items like um, well, see, these are the newer ones, but that was before they had the legendary passive for the Stone of Jordan, and then this is the um oldest Stone of Jordan, where it only adds 6% to your elemental damage, and then it actually increased the skill as well. And so back then it was like really, 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 you know, weird Stone of Jordan. Right. And so some of these legacy items are here, and that's what causes the mess most of the way. Because if I can just take out like some of these vanilla items, I would have had enough space for my seasonal stuff. Because I have like, some of the first few pages, uh, like they take up like, half the stash tab every so often. uh like for example, here I have more like interesting yellow items as well, and legacy items, or level 60 items, or like uh previous transitions. So uh like this is the old Vista asterisk, where it was only increasing damage up to 100%, and then obviously getting a primal version that is up to 500% already, right? So these are like older stuff to show the transition of items, and so this ancient isn't even good. I just kept it as an ancient, versus a non-ancient. That's way better in terms of legendary passive. But then, the sheet damage is pretty close because the ancient one sucks. In fact, just looking at this ancient, I can toss this ancient out because the old one of the non-ancient is better. But the problem is with tossing this old one out is that you don't get that anymore. So that's why I didn't toss it, right? if if I could have gotten a better ancient at the time, um, which I used to not do enough reforging, so then therefore I have to keep a different one, and so this is the ancient one versus the non-ancient. In fact, the non-ancient one, keeping non-ancient is like worthless. So generally speaking, keeping like one item, two box item means that I have to take out the non-ancient versus the ancient one, even though the ancient one's worse, and so on and so on. So, going to the Demon Hunter, I did have some Natalia's set up as well as the item that were in question for today, as well as for especially after the patch that's popping up on the 21st. Um, is this belt that I already had from previous seasons. And so this one is the one that I'll be using for testing the the caltrops from using Vault, and this is the belt that I have hoarded from previous seasons. And speaking of Carles, these are actually the two that I got in one of the seasons, not not season 27. And so these were better than the one that I got um, from against the one that I got this season at the very end. I just couldn't I just couldn't use the one I got this season. Like I got Carly's point when it wasn't something that was fun for me, personally speaking. I don't enjoy the manual Shadow Impale, traditionally speaking. Vaulting and trying to actually aim, and it was definitely difficult. Uh, but I do have better primal Carles that would have worked. For example, this one had the right life after each kill, and the reason why I kept it at the 8% is because it's already non-seasonal. I know that 10% damage is a lot, but at the same time, you can make it up for it from paragons. Like so, this is not important. But anyway, uh, I'm going to be using this belt, and then the first thing to do though, however, is to go to my mail, and I know it's going to be a big number because I stocked up a lot of yellow one-handed crossbows and also bracers in preparation for the patch when it comes out. So it's going to be 412 items. I know because a lot of it is because of these yellow items right here. These yellow items, I've saved so many for crafting. So I have like 100 over items that I can use to craft the new Demon's Demise as well, that I kept up. So if you minus out that this 106 yellow items, which I can get rid of the daggers, I kept daggers for no reason because at the end yesterday I wanted to try a few more crafting, but I was like, I'm done with crafting. I shouldn't be crafting. So I was like, I'll just drop whatever that I felt like it was important so I can get rid of daggers. So I'm gonna do that first. It's a few of them, I know. This is a slow process, but this is the process. It's always gonna be like if you have a lot of mail, this is how it goes. Every season end, you start sorting out like this. So first, I'm gonna sort these ones out. Yeah, there are a few daggers in here because I got so used to dropping daggers for crafting. Let's say I did a lot of ancient vaults, right? So when you do ancient vaults, and you randomly pick up yellows or as many yellows as you can fit, right? There, you start picking out the ones that you want to craft with. So then you don't have to actually craft from the blacksmith and double up your use of your mats if you already spotted some of them by name. If you think that you know some of the stuff on the ground by name, and so that's why I have some daggers on here, and then I'm gonna take out the gems for sure. So that's gonna be the one thing to sort because that's the usual thing to sort is the gems. So let's just grab those. Uh, I don't have to grab those. I'll grab the white items later and find out how I'm gonna keep them. But anyway, this is the yellow items that I kept. I have 96 to work with for crafting anything important that I have to craft. And so let me go ahead and you see my yellow crystals, it's like short, right? So when my yellow crystals is short, what do I do? What do I do here? Instead of salvaging these, I I purposely checked that my crystals suck all the time, right? And so if you know that your crystals suck all the time versus your reusable parts, instead of salvaging this for, a small amount relative to your larger amount, you just want to convert, right? And this is why my stash is in the beginning of each season is so messy. It's because when you do have enough Death's Breath, right, it's one per exchange. So in the beginning, if you have Sage's set going on, and then you have more reusable parts, it's because whenever you salvage a white item, you get 8 or 9, right, at a time. And so, you get 100 reusable parts, you have more than enough death spread from sages, unless you are having trouble set converting in the beginning, for your last slot or so, out of the 6 slots or something like that. Then it's gonna struggle and make your death spread count really annoying to use. But if you have, let's say, 300 at the start, and you have a lot of yellow items that you stocked up from leveling, uh, from 1 through 70 in the traditional sense, not the way that we're going to do it in the next season. But if you leveled up 1 through 70 in a traditional way, you get a lot of yellow items on the way. You should save that, because you're only getting, let's say, 80 yellow items at the start of the season, and between the 80 you could at least convert, to, like, let's say 400 500 extra crystals versus 80 crystals, 40 crystals itself from the original. Wait, did I say 80? For whichever number you saved up, it's only going to be less than 100, let's say. So if you collected 80 yellow items, that's only 80 crystals, versus converting even half of those, that is a few more hundreds, right? So anyway, just continue this process. It's gonna take quite some time today, and that is for sure. Uh, handling the mail is not an easy feat. For when you, it's not about just caring about the items. It's more about the progression of the game. So let's go ahead and, at least get ourselves halfway between the reusable parts and the crystals. Yeah, my crystals count is the lowest out of everything. Don't even mention Death's Breath and stuff. Like, my Death's Breath is like, 132,000, and that's very low compared to everyone else. Like 134,000 souls, that's very little compared to everyone else. But either way, that is how much I have, because I rarely reforge stuff. And even though I rarely reforge, you would think I should have a lot of bounty mats. Well, I don't like doing bounties, so that's why my bounty mats are so low. Anyway, so these are my gems. I have to organize them, and the problem with organizing them is that they did increase the stacks to 5,000 a long while back ago, but I'm way over 5,000 on the Imperial stacks, and I don't even have space for the marquees. So normally I, convert it already to the marquees, the Imperial gems, and you can tell why is my Imperial Emeralds the least. That's because I played Demon Hunter so much, or Monk, even in the beginning, so much. Wizard, I've played. The only reason why I have so many, like, topazes is because when I did play Wizard, being my second main at the time, I've played so much Wizard that I over collect how much my uh, emeralds are being used. So I actually play a lot of the main DPS role as a Wizard more than the Demon Hunter as a DPS role. What's going to be the best way to level? Well, there's, like, the from Rex's guide, right? The I guess the best way to level is having 4 necros first. Get yourself to level 18 or something like that with the necros, and then, as soon as you get that tab, that node, uh, you can prepare the level 70 weapon from either a friend, or someone who doesn't play the region, and then you can get your items that way. at least a level 70 weapon to start your actual class that you want to play. But all you really have to do is at least get to level 18 for one of the characters, and then level up your actual character. I mean, as long you can play however long you want on the first character. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but then obviously I actually have an EU account. When I had moved to the UK, I did make a totally separate account. I can actually do um what other people are doing. It's not that I um bought an account just for next season. I actually have an alt, right? Is don't know don't know what level the mystic needs to be enchant. Is it max? Uh, trying to remember. I don't have space to create, but there was a level that you had to do for something. So yeah, it will affect it will affect when you want to use the level 70 to roll the item. So you need gold regardless. I didn't like watch like how much gold you need or whatever. And normally we just keep training, right? But I noticed like in one of the like even the jeweler you had to have uh, like the next level to do something and stuff like that. There, but we normally have the cash and stuff, so we normally just press the upgrade button so fast, right? The booty. So yeah, it does suck to like not notice it. Oh, because we just press it so quickly. I don't go memorizing things like that. But here I'm gonna like upgrade all these marquees because I don't have space for marquees. So if the marquees get eaten out, that's fantastic. Why did I do 9? Yeah, just wondering because my group isn't opening our stash. Wondering if we'll. Yeah, so the best way to test that, I think, is to go on your EU side or something, have a level 1, and then you can actually see uh as you upgrade, right? I think you can check it that way. You just have to you just have to make sure that. Well, actually, no, you can't. It's non-season. So you have to wait for seasonal because it would have been upgraded already. So you have to have a fresh account. Like if you want to check now, you have to have a fresh account. Like a fresh account. All right, so I have a lot of things to do here, like way too much. All right, so I can toss those out. I can toss this out. I don't need that. I can put those there. I can put those there, and then I need to convert the rest because it's already 5,000. So I have to convert the rest to save space, and this is annoying. This is the most annoying part. I mean, it's not that bad. But yeah, this is the slow part. All right. So gotta take out all the Imperial tiers because I only need around 5,000. I don't need to do Imperial Emeralds. Yeah, you just have to plan. You just have to plan out your gold, and that would be doing a lot of like caches, the bounty segments where like like killing bosses to prepare for the gold amount. So if you're not opening a cache, the gold amount is the concern really. So you need a totally fresh account to see that though. I mean, if you unless you see a video where people are pressing it like slowly, then you are able to like identify, or like if there's a simulator somewhere, then you'll be able to see like which is the level that you need to in order to reroll something important. So it could be at level 10, it could be at instead of 12, you know. So you need enough gold to get to level 10 or something like that. Um, all right. All right. Uh, yeah, I have to do this. This is a lot of work, but it has to be done. Sorting out mail has to be done, and the longest part is really equalizing all my gems because I only have space for two different tiers of gems, and that is the top Flawless Royal and um, Imperial tier, where you have to use for re-rolling your rings and amulets. And so this is the slow portion. The next slowest portion will be how am I gonna keep items, because I've kept so many items, right? So this, this. All right. So now, right? I put these here, so then that already helped me get rid of those. Now I have to equalize this, right? So one here. Well, actually more than that. I have to do, you know, a few more than that, right? Um, so this is the long process. So I'm getting rid of that. So now I have this done, right? Don't need the green. So I should always hide this for the moment so I don't mess it up. So here I just need two each, I think. Yeah, this is very boring, but it has to be done unless you decide to sell it because, you know, you're spending gold that you don't have. Well, I do, but if you don't have gold, then you don't have gold, then you can't do this. Then it's just better to sell them, right? So, diamonds 2. And I have to turn off my heater for a bit. All right, there we go. Now I have the flawless royals, and then I got done with my gems. Isn't that nice? All right. So now I have to start working on, other items, right? So I have 101 set items to compare and keep and what to toss, right? I've already tossed out a lot, but some of this is to test the Natalia's stuff, right? So what can I do to save time? Well, first of all, I can get rid of, the lower level gems. It doesn't matter. I have plenty of lower level gems, so that one's out. Uh, I can get rid of the Boon of the Hoarder. Uh, that one is 100. I can get rid of the armor one because I have 20% in non-season. Not that I'm gonna play non-season specifically. And then I have Calamity, so I need to compare my Calamity. So this is a 21%. I can toss that out. I don't need any more Deadman's Legacy. I don't need any more follower one. I don't need level 0 stuff. I don't need a lower jump ease. I don't need that. I don't need that. And then I can take out these Inferno Machines for sure. And then I don't need any of these parlays. I don't even need that primal one because it doesn't have the attack speed. I mean, I can just hold off on that for a moment. I don't need this one because it's a 6/6, so I can toss that out. I don't need a lower Legacy of Dreams. So right now I'm immediately ditching. Hi, Yellow Fever. You saw the word yellow and uh, yeah. So this is the slow process. Um, this is 23%. I don't have the time for 23%. This is a really shitty 25%. This is a really shitty 24%. So right now I'm ditching. I've already ditched a lot, but I have to like remember like what I'm ditching, right? And so that is the question. So you want to make sure that you compare what you need to compare to ditch. So I don't need any more Nemesis. And then this Armorin's chain is worse than the one I have in the stash already. I can take them out. I'll wait on that one for a bit. Level 0, I can take that out. Uh, yeah, you ditched everything. I know. I know. I'm selecting the ones that I'm ditching right now. Like these are gonna get ditched. The ones that I'm selecting. Okay, let's claim those first. Let's claim these first. These are the ones I'm ditching, right? Let's go ahead and move these. So let's salvage these. And then we can toss these out.